I knew someone with the last name Leak.
Really?
Leak my balls.
Fuck you. You're listening to Too Damn Loud. We are your hosts, Danny and Jake from Homestyle Dinner Rolls. Now, Jake, what's your least favorite type of dog? We got to start controversy on the podcast. We got to make some people mad at us so that they listen and write us angry letters.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and I want you to be serious. I want you to be like, straight up tell me your least favorite type of dog.
I don't know. I thought I didn't like pit bulls, but they're pretty good.
Oh, pit bulls are so sweet, man.
They're good. I mean, golden retrievers sometimes are overrated.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
But sometimes, no, for real. I think out of the many times I pet dogs, when I pet a golden retriever, half the time they stink.
They stink?
They don't smell good. And they leave like a phlegm on my hands. Is that? I don't know if that's the word I would use.
Phlegm is what's in your throat.
Yeah, they leave that on my hands.
They're slimy. Not a day in my life have I encountered a slimy golden retriever.
But I do like chihuahuas.
Bro, are you petting a slug? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
you do like chihuahuas, though.
I do like chihuahuas. How there's
putting a chihuahua over a golden retriever is fucking absurd.
Well, there's no bad dogs. Like pugs are sort of ugly, but like
pugs are. But how dare you?
But like baby pugs, baby anything is adorable.
Yeah. That's true.
What dogs do you? What is your least favorite kind of dog?
Man, that's not how this works. You can't just bounce back my rage bait at me. I'm trying to rage bait so that everyone there gets mad at you.
You seem to have an answer.
You'll never
I had to
get it out of me. I plead the fifth.
I had to dig.
You know what? I'll say this. I don't care for poodles, man.
Okay.
And it's not like I've never just really met a poodle that I've liked. Mm-hmm. And I've never, now that you talk about it, I've never really met a chihuahua I liked either. They're just so much. I like big dogs that are like nice and...
That's ironic coming from someone
crazy.
who looks like a chihuahua and a poodle. Look at you. Come on. I mean,
well, that just hurt my damn feelings.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Someone made a TikTok and said I look like a golden retriever.
Really?
So now I'm attached to that dog, and I'm offended that you say you don't like him.
Oh, dude, you took it personally.
I did take it personally. Oh, yeah.
When I say I don't
and I'm going to internalize that, too. I'm going to think, oh, Jake doesn't like me as much as he likes chihuahuas.
I said you look like a chihuahua, though. So, I mean...
You know what? That's a very good
I half hate you a lot.
Thanks, man.
And you're slimy.
And I'm slimy.
Half the time.
That one's true. I do coat my body in phlegm, every morning so that if anyone tries to touch me, they just have a thick layer of mucus on them.
Yeah, I can.
And then if anyone tries to like grab me, I just slip right out. You know?
Oh God, I accidentally just touched your hand, and I can kind of feel it.
Well, let's answer a question.
Let's. You guys sent in your questions to our email, so I'm gonna choose one.
Oh, are you picking?
Yeah, I saw it. I wasn't going to, but it just says Jake. I was going to choose a random one, but it's from Jake. And the first sentence, hi, it's Jake.
Naturally.
Other Jake knows me, kinda. I was wondering if you have any tips for making vocal melodies sound better and not just follow the instrumental melody. Thanks. I've been helping spread your music around New Zealand. Oh, cool. It's this guy. Okay. I would say play a chord first. Play a chord first. And make a melody over that. Don't make a guitar melody first. If you're making a guitar melody first, you're an interesting kind of songwriter. And I mean, if that's your thing, go ahead.
It sounds like you're being not interesting.
But I mean, I don't know anyone who does that.
No, you know what? I don't either. Actually, I've done that a couple times.
A guitar melody or like a riff?
Well, I guess what I'm more talking about is if I'm trying to think of a melody and I can't quite put my fingers on a melody, I'll go to a guitar and I'll like play it out and I'll see, okay, what works good, what scale works good with the song that I'm trying to write here.
That's a good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Do it that way. Reverse engineer it.
But if you're thinking of trying to make a vocal melody that doesn't obviously follow the guitar or even the chords, a way that I do it sometimes is I just play the chord out and I find a note on the chord or a note on the scale that's a little more unusual, a little less basic, and I try to work off of that.
Yes, use that as like a starting note, or maybe like think of it later.
Like, ooh, how can I incorporate this?
Yeah. Good question. But Jake, that's a pretty good name. I want to know if your legal name is Jacob or Jake.
I've never met a single fucking person whose name is just Jake.
I think I have.
Really?
I met one, and I was like, what?
You know what's crazy? People are legally named Maddie Isn't that not? I thought it was always like Madison or Madeline.
Yeah, well, but that makes a little more sense than like Jake, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's like that is a nickname. Like
It is totally.
Madison,
Like Danny or
Maddie, Jake, Jakey. No one's legally named Jakey. Well,
You can't
They
say no
probably
one.
are.
You don't know, man. There's some crazy ass names out there.
like an Australian guy.
Dude, my dad in high school knew a guy named Butt.
Yeah. Oh, but
He was in a wheelchair, dude.
he had a
tough childhood,
hard
man.
time.
Yeah.
He had a hard time.
Oh, Butt.
Didn't you say he was bullied?
He was bullied pretty. He was bullied so hard that his family changed their last name. And it wasn't like B-U-T-T-E. It was spelled
But
It was spelled B-U-T-T. And everyone made fun of him because he was in a wheelchair.
that's so fucked.
My dad said he was a dick. But I mean, like, wouldn't
I
you
would be a dick.
Wouldn't you be too if your last name was Butt and you were handicapped? It was like, oh, here comes Butt.
But he's wheeling around. Fucking that sucks, dude. Like, wow,
That's a tough life, man.
that is a hard life. But hey, I bet he's good now, right? Hopefully he's softened up.
Hopefully, man. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him between like 1955 or whatever the fuck.
Maybe he learned how to walk.
Maybe some miracle happened, and God was like, "All right, this poor motherfucker's been through enough. Let's give Mr. Butt a chance."
I wonder if one day he was just sitting down, as he always, like most days, and he just stood up and walked off. Can you imagine
Maybe he did.
how trippy that would be if you could never walk? But I guess it would be the same thing as if because we're healthy and we're lucky enough to be, not handicapped. Imagine just one day waking up, legs don't work. Have you ever had that fear?
Terrible. No.
Or like that maybe something like you'll just be doomed?
Yeah, I mean, you never really like pay enough attention to or enough thought into how like lucky you are to have an entirely healthy body. Like I fear, what if I wake up and I can't hear one day?
Oh,
And that happens to people.
does.
It's tragic. People like lose their sight and their hearing or their legs or their arm.
I was talking to my friend the other couple days ago. He said it's super basic, but people say live every day like it's your last. And I'm
Yeah.
like, he's like, it's super, super basic, but there's a point. And I started, it was so awkward because I started tearing up and I was like, well, I don't know why I'm tearing up. But I was thinking, I was like, if you lived every day like it was your last, you wouldn't hesitate to tell your friends or your family, like, hey, man, I love you, by the way.
Totally.
I love you, Danny. Anyway.
All right, let's move on. No, that's true, man. And another thing is like, if you live every day like it's going to be your last, one of those days it will be.
Literally, yeah.
Today could be the last day.
Well, I think I thought about it like people die
Yeah.
just in their sleep. Like healthy people. Like it can happen any day. So be thankful for what you have. And if that answers your question about vocal melodies, you're welcome.
Next question. All right. I'm going to just choose them at random.
He's listening, he's like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you guys. Whatever his last name, Johnson or something, 'cause he switched his name. It's like, you fucking dick. Oh, that's Dusty's son. That's great. Dusty
Great,
told his whole goddamn family about mocking
Good old butt. Great.
Okay.
Laughing stock of the whole fucking class.
Did you know anyone with a crazy name growing up?
I
I knew a Paige Turner, which was funny.
Paige Turner? Who's Paige Turner? What are you talking about?
Like,
Paige. I was like, is that a famous person I should know?
No, like, turning
you
a page.
turn-
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's a funny name, right?
I know. I mean, someone with the last name Bear, I guess. But I don't know if that's crazy.
That's not that
Yeah,
crazy.
okay. Well, I live a pretty bland life.
All right. Well, Caitlin asks, how much money would you have to get paid to bite off each other's fingers? Probably a good amount.
But that's it's not impossible. It's not something
no.
we wouldn't do.
I would probably, like, realistically, it depends. Like, this question is kind of reliant on how many fingers and how much money. Because one finger and which finger. Because, like, I wouldn't give a thumb for, like, maybe $1 million. I'd give up a thumb for, like, $1 million. But if you're talking, like, a ring finger, I could go without a ring finger. I would do a ring finger for like 100,000. I'd say that's my minimum. What do you say?
I need a ring finger, dude. Well, not
I
on my
need
right hand.
$100,000, man. It is tough.
Not on my right hand. Yeah, I would say maybe like they could take my ring finger for maybe like $42.
Dude, my
Like, if you
brother-in-law, he chopped his pinky off in a door.
What?
I'm serious.
Like how much of it?
Like the whole, like it was like the whole pinky.
Oh my!
And he had to
God.
get it sewed on. Like he was closing. I think it was a
I'll
car.
see you later, guys.
He was closing a car door, and it like cut his pinky off. And now he like can't bend it all the way. Isn't that
Yeah.
sad?
God damn.
I know,
You
dude.
ever watch Toy Story 3?
Yes, I'm familiar.
I don't know if I brought this up. I bring this up. I reference this one thing quite a lot.
Like how you always talk about X-Men Days of Future
Yes.
Past, even though you
Well-
don't know like shit about comics.
Of course, Toy Story 3, the baby, if you'll notice when it closes
What
the door,
baby?
there's a baby. It's not
Is it
from
a
Toy
toy
Story
or
1.
is it like
It's a toy. It's a toy.
Oh, okay.
It's the pink guy's like guard.
Lorenzo.
That's his name. They named him Lorenzo.
His name is Lorenzo. I'm 90% sure that
It's like Gustavo Fring. It gives the same vibe.
Gustavo Fring.
Gustavo. But the baby closes the door in a scene, and I'm like, how did it not just break its? Because it's small, so it's at the
Yeah.
bottom. It grabs the door and it closes it kind of on its hand, but it closes. And I think about that every day. I'm like, how
Really?
did that baby not just break its hand?
I think it's something to do with the magic of animation. It wasn't a filmed movie.
Well, yeah, but it's just odd. I mean,
That is odd.
who's with me?
You know what I hate? I hate it. If you're one of these people out there, fuck you. But I hate it when people. I hate it when people like hear the song Blackbird and say, "Oh, it's the song from Boss Baby," because that's happened to me.
Really?
That's happened to me a few
Oh
times.
my god,
That's happened to me like 5 times.
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby.
Does it have? I've
It
never
has-
watched Boss
apparently,
Baby. Sue me.
I haven't seen it. Apparently, Blackbird by the Beatles is in that, and I've been like playing that, or I've played that in the car, and someone's gone, "Oh, I know this from Boss Baby," and I was, "Oh my goodness!"
that makes me sick to my
It
stomach.
makes a hole in my heart. But hey, maybe Boss Baby is the peak of cinema. I've never watched it personally.
Should we watch it?
Maybe we should go watch Boss Baby.
We should.
after
We
this.
should. Yeah, let's watch Boss
Here are
Baby.
the questions.
Next question. I'm just gonna click a random one here. We got Ezekiel. Can I join your band? That's the title of the email. So I'm gonna hope there's an actual question. My
Well, fuck! Whoa! That was an actual question,
well, no. Well,
and we will treat it with the same amount of respect.
of respect. No. Fuck off. I don't like what. Okay. But okay, wait. But Ezekiel sent the
What
chill.
if Ezekiel is like really great at the drums or something?
Is like one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Ezekiel's dad is a billionaire.
What if Ezekiel is like Slash's fucking secret identity and he was just really interested?
Then we'll think
and
about
turning
it.
it down.
Hey, Slash, aka Saul Goodman,
AKA Ezekiel.
aka Ezekiel. We'll think about it. But that was just the title of the email. You know how there's a subject and a whatever the
Yes.
fuck. What's it called? A subject and a body?
I have no idea.
I don't know. The second part.
I'm a bassist, dude.
That I like how both of our brains can't even think of what that's called.
I know, man. And I went to college. I went to college. I wrote essays and shit.
Dude, I had like a 2.1 in high school, so I was pretty
Really?
good, man.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's pretty high up.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the highest in my whole family, in my whole bloodline.
In your bloodline.
Like
Bloodline is crazy. Bloodline implies
well, since like the
you just come from
1800s,
wow.
you know, the report cards were always about 1.7, so I averaged about 0.4 points higher, right? Or is that 0.6?
You see,
You
when
see
you
the
asked
joke?
me to do math.
You see the joke I just made? Anyway, they said, my, in parentheses, band never does anything and keeps putting off practices. You guys could use a rhythm guitarist, right? Well, yeah, we could. But here's the thing.
That's
Also
true.
sent the chill guy.
Nice.
That's
The chill
cool.
guy helps. That is a
That-
point.
that does-
towards
that is a
joining
point.
the band. Yeah, that does help.
We will get a rhythm guitarist one day. But if your band isn't doing anything and keeps putting off practices, it sounds like you're going to... Because I remember we had this conversation one day and we were like, we've had it multiple times, but we were like, we're serious. This is what we want to do with our life.
Yeah.
Like for real. The first one was in high school. It wasn't that exact conversation, but it was like, we don't want to just be a cover band. We're going to be a real band.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody has got to be dialed in, locked in, paying attention at practice, showing up on time, taking it seriously.
Ezekiel, do you fucking want this? Do you want it? Because I want it. He wants it.
That's true.
You know, we had multiple members in our band, other members, but I mean, I'm not saying they didn't want it as much as us, but it didn't work out. And we've been consistently at this for about 5 to 7 years. So you got to find people who want it, you know, who are ready to put their money on the line, their time on the line, because, I mean, you got to take it seriously if you want to get anywhere with this, you know? Come on. I believe in you. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you're screwed, but I'm saying don't waste your time with people who can't. So have that conversation. Say, guys, I'm for real about this. Are you for real?
Yep.
Just be honest and open. Communication fixes everything.
Because, I mean, it depends. Like, if you're out there and maybe Ezekiel, maybe you're like, I want to do this band, but I just want to do it to have fun. You need to find people with the similar energy and similar attitude to it, right? Because you could have a band that you do casually as a hobby and have a great time, like play shows,
that's
play covers,
the dream, honestly.
and have a wonderful, wonderful time. Or if you are like, I want to make this a career, I want to release music, I want to grow this and have this be like my project, you've got to find people with the same energy too. Because if you just want like a chill cover band and someone comes in and they have the attitude of like, I'm trying to make this a career, you're not going to be happy.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. And if you're trying to make it a career and you have someone who has the attitude of I just want to have fun, that's also not going to work. So it's all about finding people on the same wavelength. Jake and I are good because we operate on the same wavelength. We're both all in.
You wouldn't marry someone who wants 12 kids and you want 2, you know, like it's that sort of, it's this exact same thing Danny just said, but I just tried making it sound a little cooler. Does that make sense? I made it a little
true.
No,
man.
did you see what I did there? I made it a little more digestible, you know?
Man.
And I'm covering it in cheese.
How does the boss baby, how is he smart?
I don't know.
He's a fucking baby.
But he wears a fucking suit.
I know he wears a suit and he's the boss. That's the whole point of the film.
You think if we
But it's
wore
like, I don't know, man. I don't know why. Like, I think kids' movies have so much heart, and they're some of the best movies around are movies made for kids. And Boss Baby is supposed to be a great movie.
Well, clearly you haven't seen...
Something about the concept just makes me upset. I don't know if it's about
a baby in a suit.
And I'm just like, fuck that.
You clearly haven't seen...
I want to kick that baby.
Citizen Kane, okay? Which is clearly the greatest piece of cinema that I didn't snore my way through, okay?
Have you seen Citizen
Kane?
Oh,
yeah, that shit was such a waste of my time.
Really?
I was sitting there like, what's happening?
Yeah.
That might be a hot take to
It's
some
about like
film.
a lawyer, right?
I don't know what it's about. That's how much I forgot. But it was in high school, so maybe I just wasn't taking it that
Maybe
seriously.
your brain wasn't matured enough
to understand like, the super deep meaning. Because at the very end, there's something that I was supposed to understand because there's this thing that's in the fire.
Dude, you know what? I've never
Spoiler.
seen The Godfather.
Me neither.
And that's supposed to be like the best. Every time I tell people,
say.
they're like, oh, because I love movies too. I consider myself like a movie fan, a movie nerd about some things. I'm a dork.
Yeah.
Big time. And I've never seen those movies. I don't know why. It's one of those things where it's like it's always on my list, but every time I'm sitting down to watch a movie,
you're like, I'm not watching the fucking Godfather. That was recorded in 1873. It's because it's like
when there's so much pressure to watch something or to like listen to a band or play a game that everyone loves. It's like, well, I feel like I got to be in the headspace to like absorb it all.
To accept.
The Godfather, it doesn't seem like a movie I can just watch on a Tuesday. I got to be like, okay, I'm like getting popcorn. I'm making a day out of it. My brain's got to be like awake enough that I can
making a day out of watching the God. How long is the Godfather?
It's pretty long.
It's like 3.
I think it's like 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's a day.
Me just bullshitting.
Watches there like it's an hour, dude. I bet it's like 2.5.
I bet it's 3. I almost guarantee. Oh yeah, most like movies that are like the pretentious film dudes love are like 3 to 4 hours.
Citizen Kane was like 3 to 4 hours, and I was sitting there like, I don't get it. This is just like someone living their life. That's what it was.
Okay. Now I'll raise you this. What's your favorite movie?
I'd probably say I've watched a few good movies. Smile 2 was sick.
Yeah.
Like honestly, every horror movie I've watched, and I've probably just been watching the wrong ones. Let me preface, but they're not good. Like they don't make me.
Yeah.
But Smile 2, like maybe because it was in the theater.
Have you seen Hereditary? That movie's nuts.
Is that the one where they are hiking?
No, that's the one where like it opens with like the little sister getting her head chopped off by the. Spoiler alert for Hereditary, but that's like how the movie opens.
No,
You probably haven't seen it. You'd remember.
Yeah.
But when I say sister getting the head chopped off, you totally know what I'm talking about.
Is it about a possession? Or
insane. I can't even say. Like,
okay, I'll watch.
It's so much that it's like you gotta just watch the movie. But that shit is nuts. You should watch that. We should watch.
Okay, let's make a list of Godfather, Baby.
Boss.
And sadly,
What a list!
Sadly, I will probably like Boss Baby more just because our attention spans.
The Godfather? Man. I don't know, man.
We'll see.
I can watch a 4-hour movie like it's nothing.
Yeah,
dude, are you kidding me? All the extended Lord of the Rings movies.
I've watched.
That's
a few
my
of those.
jam. That's my shit.
I like the one where he falls onto the spike.
Yeah. That's in the extended edition of the third movie.
That is a cool ass scene.
I know,
because you just.
Why was that cut?
Like it's like you hear that he dies, but
dude. Fun fact about that
Spoiler.
scene: the actor who plays Saruman, I don't know why I can't remember his name right now.
He's a rock star, right?
Yeah, he
metal.
He was also in he had a metal band, but he was in the war, and the director told him, make this noise when you get stabbed, and he goes, no, I know what it sounds like when somebody gets stabbed in the back, so I'm gonna make this noise. And so in the movie, when he gets stabbed, he's like, ah! He makes like a weird noise, but that's the noise that actual people make when they get stabbed.
That's fucking
Isn't
awesome.
that fucking baller? This dude was like the most
He's
badass
like, no,
guy.
I know.
I wish I remembered his name because he's the most badass dude. All right, I'm going to look it up. Stall while I Google this.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, honestly, a guy who's been in war.
Christopher Lee.
Oh my God. How many people has he stabbed, do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
War is a crazy thing because it's I thought about this the other day. It's like legal killing. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
They're like, go kill for money, and you'll get to do it for free. It's fun. It's like no repercussions. In fact, we'll reimburse you for it if you live. You fucking.
And then you live with the trauma of that, and then the government's like, well, fuck you.
And that's why we have homeless veterans. That's why we have. Wow, I like how.
And that's also why we have a great scene in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. I like how every topic turns into this like depressing horror. Maybe I'll just back off the mic for a sec. Damn.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's find another question. Why don't you? I'm scrolling.
Not it. Get it because it's your turn.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this one. Fiona says, if Homestyle dinner rolls was a fruit, which fruit would it be? Well, clearly it's
banana.
A type of bread. Banana?
Yeah, like banana bread.
I'm kind of. Oh, that's pretty good because banana is kind of linked to the bread.
But also,
so
I like zucchini bread, but it's no banana. Banana is a fruit you can.
Zucchini's a vegetable, right? Not a fruit. So.
Don't fucking ask me,
dude.
It's like a tomato.
Underrated fruit, dragon fruit. Have you ever just eaten dragon fruit with a spoon?
I didn't really like it. Maybe it wasn't ripe. You were about to swear at me.
I was.
I heard.
You heard the fuck you just building in my body.
You got hot. I could feel it. Relax, man.
Like Inside Out, like how they all the little Inside Out dudes in my brain just hit the big red button in the center that says "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." Then they press like 50 times a day.
And Sadness is like, Jake doesn't know about the dragon.
And Amy Poehler's like, we gotta save the parks.
Yeah, man.
I remember.
Yeah,
and Phyllis is like, I gotta sell some paper.
But you're not the only person to tell me that dragon fruit is so
it's
fucking
so good.
But I've said it every time. I'm like, I don't think it was that good, but maybe I really had a bad one.
I think you just have to get a good one.
Because
where did you get it? Did you get it from like Walmart?
I have no clue. It was either Smith's, which is a good place to shop. It's a Kroger, but also I think our old bassist gave me one.
Speaking of Kroger, I just switched to this. But people at home, stop getting name brand soda, man. I just picked up some Diet Dr. K, and it tastes just like Diet Coke, and it's like $1.50. It's fucking awesome.
Dr. K, or is it Diet Cola?
Oh, no, it's Diet Cola.
Don't get Diet Dr. K. We haven't tried it. We have no...
We cannot condone Diet Dr. K.
Can you imagine if people were drinking Diet Dr. K, but it had this like chemical leak in the factory and then a ton of people died? That would have been your fault.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Worst case scenario right
I sure hope that doesn't happen. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, that is probably the worst thing that could happen,
Ever.
Or if they hired a ton of assassins to kill everyone who buys a bottle of Dr. K. That would be probably the worst thing.
The leader of the Hitman organization
or like
watches this podcast.
A person who tortures people.
The CEO of Dr. Pepper or whatever the fuck is like, so you're going to preach Dr. K on my fucking Spotify? I don't think so,
Can you imagine if this podcast paused right now and we're like, Dr. K at your local Kroger's? Also in diet.
Too Damn Loud, brought to you by Diet Dr. Kelp.
Okay, I'm answering this question, but
hit me.
I don't even want to read this.
Now you have to. You see, you can't
the subject
do that.
The subject is pod cussy, is what they say. So you know what kind of person we're dealing with. Okay.
Yeah, a fucking hilarious person.
A funny
That's
person.
the funniest shit I've heard.
No, you're not going to like this next thing. Hey, it says, hi, Danny Wanny Boo Boo Bear. Or Daniel, whoever's reading this.
Daniel.
It's your boy, Malachi. I want to know. It's your boy. I don't know you. We don't know you. It's your boy. You know me. Do you ever watch that video that's like, it's your boy, skinny penis?
Porn? No,
what?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that's the intro to the porn.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, it was a Vine. You didn't watch Vine?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, well, that's what it says.
It's very funny out of context, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's what Vine is. It's where they post out of context things and it's funny. I love when I get a comment that goes Vine energy. When people say Vine energy.
That's like the best compliment someone can give to a TikTok.
But that's how you know your video is going to bomb. Like it's going to do terribly.
Yeah.
Because when people say Vine energy, it's like, okay, but that doesn't translate to TikTok. Anyway, it's your boy Malachi, shut up. And I want to know.
Damn.
Shut up, frankly. And I want to know how you would describe each other's fashion and how you think they see yours. That's a good question.
That's a great question. Okay.
Wait,
what was the latter half of the question?
And how you think they see yours.
Okay. So how we see each other's and then how I think you see mine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I see. Can I start? Do you mind?
Hit me.
No, allow me. I think you wear. I know what you wear, but I think your fashion's good. Like I like the glasses. You got these new glasses.
Got glasses.
You got good hair.
Thank you.
You've made good choices since the buzzing your head thing. You know.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Buzzing my head that felt so fucking good.
I
miss it all the time, dude. Showering took 2 minutes. I could just get up and go, and I could you don't have to worry about your hair getting messed up.
Yeah,
and it feels all fun. And
it would be cold if it was December.
Oh my god,
January,
it was so nice,
like it is right now. But
I miss it.
I will say that is one thing I will be jealous of you for a long time. Is I never got to shave my head and just feel the
buddy, do it.
No,
do it.
Are you crazy?
If this podcast,
if I start balding, I'm in.
If this podcast, okay, why don't people shave their head when they're balding?
I don't know.
A totally smooth head looks so much better than like the fucking Benjamin Franklin.
But here's the thing: you see your own face every day.
That's true.
You see
who am I? Who am I to judge?
But like you have no clue. You know, there's a thing called freckle blindness when girls put on
eyebrow blindness.
Or eyebrow. Like me, I have what's it called? I grow a unibrow constantly, but I see my face every day. It has to be pretty bad for me to go, whoa, like that's like I gotta fix that, you know. But your fashion, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not over the top, but it's not like bad, you know. Sometimes you add a little flair, but for the most part, I like black jeans. I like whatever shirt you're wearing.
Thank you.
Straightforward. Okay.
My zipper's completely down.
And yeah, but I'm used to that by now. I've stopped saying things about it.
It's so bad, man. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or what.
Because you always first off, it's like all the time.
I know. Well, I notice, and then I zip it up. I don't even go to the bathroom or anything, and I look down, and it's just fucking down. I don't know if it's my pants. I don't know if it's the goblins. I don't know.
I was gonna say there's a little gremlin. He's like every time you zip it up, he's like
God is like, you know what? This guy he keeps fucking. He left the Mormon church. I'm fucking.
I'm gonna zip. I'm
gonna zip your goddamn.
You're gonna look like
pants
such
down.
a.
You look like a dummy now, don't you?
When you were baptizing the dead, you didn't look like such a loser. You didn't look like a dork in your bow tie and your fucking and then you put on.
I did wear bow ties.
I did too. I still wear bow ties,
dude. Bow ties. I was a big fan of the show Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever seen the program.
But I haven't seen the program.
But one of he wears a bow tie. That's the point that I'm getting to, is that they wear bow ties in Doctor Who. And now that I'm telling it, the story doesn't have a lot of oomph.
No. This is... No, elaborate on that.
But I would describe... Okay, you want me to elaborate on it? So
Doctor
I watched Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, in Doctor Who, and he would wear a bow tie. He would say this thing. He said, hey, bow ties are cool.
Why did he wear a bow tie?
He would say that.
Oh,
he would say bow ties are cool. That's how... Because, each Doctor, when there's a new Doctor that comes on the show, they have to have something that makes them distinct from the last Doctor, right? So the 10th Doctor is different than the 11th. It's different than the 12th.
So that actually answers the question I kind of had about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They're not all playing the same person.
They are.
Okay, so it's kind of like James Bond, where the actor changes. Okay.
It's all one storyline. It's one universe.
Time travel.
No. It is time travel, but the guy, the Doctor is his name. He's a species of alien called a Time Lord, and when he dies, he regenerates. And so it's the same mind, different person, if that makes sense. So he has all the memories and experiences, but a new personality and a new look.
That's cool. Does he ever make callbacks to like seasons before?
He's
like, I remember when I was a girl.
All the time. And they have like different characters show up from previous seasons.
That's cool.
And it's fucking awesome. But
Grey's Anatomy
like one
type
of the doctors is like old and he's mean, and then one of them is like super cool, and one of them has like scarves and shit. There was a woman doctor.
That'd be crazy.
And they just barely actually got a new doctor, and he's super cool. And the writing's better on the show now too.
So that's
I would describe that's why I would wear a bow tie, because I like that show. But I would describe your fashion as like a cool guy in like 1998 smoking a cigarette walking down the street.
I'll fucking take that.
Like, not the characters from the show Friends, but like one of the people walking past them. Does that make sense?
Wow, that's very specific. But
does that make sense?
Because the
Friends, like, look at this jacket you're wearing. That's something that you'd see in like 1998. You got the hair and like
is
a
this
goatee.
corduroy? Is that what it is?
I think it's corduroy. Yeah. That's how I would describe it. You wear sweaters a lot. That's a very 90s thing.
So true.
I feel like.
You kind of know what sparked my love for sweaters, for vibrant sweaters, was Paul McCartney in Get Back, the documentary.
Yeah.
He was, first off, he was...
In like the Apple one, the Get Back tapes, that one?
Yeah, well, the documentary, your dad watched, I watched.
Yeah.
Your dad and me and you, we all watched it. And
we all what?
Oh, maybe watched it, But, I was gonna make a joke. I don't think I should make a joke, man. Sorry for even thinking that. You're a lovely guy.
I got an appointment with Dr. Butt.
What if you became a doctor?
This is Archaeology 101 with Professor Butt teaching the course.
What do you think happens when people sweaters. Well, no, but I was going to ask, when people bully someone in high school and you see them 20 years later, how do you think you feel?
Oh my God, terrible.
If you're a decent person, some people, I was thinking about this on the drive back here today, I thought some people never grow up. Like some,
that's true.
And it's not necessarily always their fault, whether it's trauma or substance abuse or something, but some people don't even get a second of time to step back and go, these are my vices. This is what's bad for me.
Interesting.
I should avoid these people. And again, lots of people literally don't get the chance. It's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, if you just go from like, you're in school, as soon as you graduate high school, you go to college, you're back in school, right? Same thing, grinding. You don't have the, elasticity in your life to kind of discover who you are.
Grow.
Look at, have introspection on yourself. Say, these are my regrets. These are my desires. This is what I want out of life. This is what I want to change. This is how I want to become a better person. I feel like having time for yourself is so important.
Just to think.
You
don't have to meditate. You should meditate.
Meditation is phenomenal.
Because once you get into that, is it REM? It's that deeper thinking state.
I think REM's only when you're sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. It is when you're sleeping, I know that. But once you get into that deeper subconscious state or whatever, things pop up that you don't want to
Dude, you know what really steves my jobs?
What? No one says that, man, by the way.
Okay, pal. Whatever you say. You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah.
Meditating in nature. That's my shit. I have a hard time meditating when I'm indoors, but if I go just like into the mountains and I sit down by a creek and I just meditate and I listen to the water and the bugs and the wind. Dude, I did that like a few years ago and I got done. I meditated for like 25 minutes and I was just like, I should stop watching porn.
It just happened?
Oh yeah. And I didn't, but
Because why the fuck would have you watched porn? Porn is the coolest thing.
but I was like, I really should. And like every time ever since then though that I would watch porn, I went, remember when you had that like moment meditating?
Yeah.
Listen to that shit.
Listen, because you if you take a second for yourself, you know what you should change, and you think things that pop up, you're like, this is bad about me. Like I should fix that. Blah blah blah.
It's crazy the reset that you get. It's like a shower for your brain. I forgot who said that, but someone told me that one time.
That's a good way to put it.
That it's like a shower for your brain. You know, it's just washing everything off, all your stresses, all your thoughts, and you're just sitting with yourself for like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then you have a fresh start for your day. Like when you take a shower and you feel better.
And it's like, this isn't even like a radical thought. Why wouldn't they just do that in school? Why wouldn't they teach you, hey, this is how to meditate? Instead of pledging your allegiance to the USA from the time you're a preschooler. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why don't they go instead?
Or now how like Bibles are in schools?
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Bibles are in schools now. That's fucking insane.
Church and state.
That's fucking insane.
Remember that thing about church and state, and education is part of state.
It's ridiculous.
So you're saying we are just blending it?
Yeah, that's not freedom of religion, because there are people from all different religions.
Not.
I don't care if you're Catholic, if you're whatever religion you are. Like, you should not be forcing religion on children.
Question.
Answer.
What if schools, not necessarily elementary schools, maybe let's say high schools or junior highs, what if they had every religious book?
Love it.
So either all or none.
Well, it's more of like, because I don't know the facts for sure. I'm kind of going off of just what I see on the internet.
Off of a headline. Yes, which is always a good idea.
Which is always a great idea. It's a great idea to take information, make my own opinion about it, and then tell it to people on a podcast.
Like it's a fact.
Like it's a fact. But from what I gather, they're like teaching the Bible.
Oh. See,
and I could be wrong. I could be making shit up.
Okay, but we'll take it with a grain of salt. He said it right here. But like, if that's the case, that's not separation.
No, that's ridiculous.
Of church and state.
I would love it if every religious text was in a school.
Yeah.
And if it was like reading the Bible, it should be religious studies where you read all the different texts. I had a world religions class in high school where we read like texts from all different religions and learned about all different religions.
In Springville.
It was super eye-opening. In Springville,
Utah.
In Springville, Utah.
That's amazing.
And it was one of the most impactful classes I've ever had. But you can't just teach Christianity.
Yeah, and especially in Utah, I think you made this point when we were in like high school, or someone made the point. Why is there only LDS buildings like for worship on high school grounds?
Yeah, no, that was me because I was really pissed.
What was it called?
Was on seminary.
That
it was on the same.
It's
lot
on the
as the
it's
school.
Like if you're going to make one, make all. Because you're
it's discriminatory.
You are implying that there is not enough or no other religious sects.
America is becoming a, Christo-fascist state, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And it's absurd. It's absurd.
We talked about the pendulum. Me and Danny would talk about the pendulum a while ago. I said, I feel as if the pendulum is swinging. There's more conservative policies, more liberal, or ideologies, I should say. The pendulum is swinging right now. It's pretty far right because it was very left only a couple of years ago. But the thing is, I think since Obama, it went, when Obama came in, it got to a good spot. We were more on the left, but middle, like no one felt pushed or pressured or anything. It got pretty far left, and it's like, okay, I'd like to get back to the middle just because that's how I am. And then we flew right, like within the span of 2 years. Yeah, I swear, But I don't know. It's interesting.
Man, I fucking hate politics. I'll tell you what about politics that is just like, as far as the pendulum goes, and right politics versus left politics, like
It's not right.
when Trump got elected, I know people that were genuinely scared for like their freedoms. And that should never happen in politics. That's not politics, you know? Kids shouldn't be scared that they won't be able to date who they want to date or express themselves how they want to with fear of persecution. You know what I'm talking about? That's not political.
It's human beings.
It's human beings.
Exactly. You know who was scared about their ideologies being taken away? And Jewish people in Germany.
Yeah. There's a lot of
and
similarities, which is kind of terrifying. Books being banned. Mm-hmm. That's a similarity. TikTok being banned.
Because they banned TikTok in 1940s in Germany. Anyway, next question.
I remember that in the 40s when they banned TikTok and everyone was like...
Your style's great, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad you like it. All right, Allie has a question. Allie says, this is probably a broad and crazy question. But how do you guys deal with depression? You mentioned depression...
This is probably a broad question.
This is probably a little crazy.
But how do you deal?
This is a little crazy, but how do you deal with depression?
How do you when
And then she says, you mentioned depression pills and a bit too heavy. Yes, because I used to be on depression pills and I was on them for a long time.
SSRIs?
No, I wasn't on SSRIs. I actually wrote an essay in college about how much I think SSRIs are negative for your brain because of the way that they interact with the chemicals up there. But I was on Wellbutrin, and it helped me a lot. But I think as far as like medication goes, I'm not a fucking psychiatrist. Do not take my word for what to do with your pills. Like if you listen to me and you're like, I should take this 21-year-old basis advice on medication, that would be absurd.
To preface, and I'm completely serious, I know you want to avoid listening to this part when you're younger, but what works for someone is not going to work for you every time. Most likely not, especially when it comes to medication.
But for me, Wellbutrin gave me a good kind of kick in the ass to get my life together, but I wouldn't say that it solved my depression by any means. I think the best way to deal with depression for me is just getting out of bed, eating breakfast, exercising, and reestablishing connections with people that I have in my life, reaching out to somebody. There's a book called Lost Connections that talks a lot about how to, regain connections in your life, to your body, to your mind, to the people that you love, to nature, in order to heal depression naturally without the use of medication. And that helps me a lot. And just being able to reconnect with the things in my life that matters, how I deal with it personally. How about you?
Ice.
Just ice?
Ice? No,
you fuck with ice, buddy?
One of my...
Jake just gets a bunch of ice and just chews it. He's like, I feel good. I feel better.
It's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, you have a brain freeze and shit. It's 3 a.m., But
You're just putting ice all over your body. And you're like, oh, it's cold and I can feel again.
Well, here you go. Get this. When I started therapy, I didn't know... I knew I was anxious. I didn't know that I got depressed sometimes, because everyone, in my opinion, everyone gets depressed sometimes, not to the level of a fully depressed person, Yeah. But everyone gets depressed, things happen. People get depressed. But my therapist was showing, like, it was just a quick crash course. If you get anxious, do this. If you get depressed, do this. And I told him, I was like, we don't need to waste our time talking about the depression because I don't. And he's like, just in case. And I was like, okay. One of them was take an ice cube and rub it against your forehead, back and forth.
I remember you telling me about that.
But seriously, back and forth for about 30 seconds at a time. And he said it helps you feel the pain you're hiding inside. It brings it out. And I think it was a day after that, I just felt bummed. I didn't feel depressed, if that makes sense, where I'm like, can't get out of bed. I was just upset, or so I thought. And then I went to the freezer. I was like, I'll try this. Got a piece of ice, rubbed it against my forehead, back and forth, 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, because it hurts like a bitch. Like, it gives you a headache.
Yeah.
I did it once. I was like, okay, you know, it's crazy, you know. Do it one more time. Sobbing. I'm sobbing.
Just
like,
all of the emotion just coming right to the surface.
It out. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so that worked for me. But I'm not a depressed person, if that makes sense.
Dude,
and
how good is it just a good cry?
But I needed it so bad.
Yeah.
And he also said, if you hold ice in your hands, he's like, you're giving out my fucking advice for free.
he's like, you know, I charge people to help
like,
them with this kind of thing.
But I held ice in my hands as well. He says hold it there, and that shit hurts really bad. If you hold it and squeeze it really hard to the point where it's melting, do that for a long time. It'll hurt really bad and sting, but that made me cry as well. And it just got it out. And every time I feel a little depressed, I try that, and almost every time it works. And then I can think clearly, why am I sad? Oh, I miss my girlfriend. Oh, I blah, blah, blah. Oh, I blah, 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 you know.
You know, I think the best thing to do if you're depressed is to take all your feelings and just shove them in as deep in as you can, and don't talk about them, and then go about your day.
And then take them out on everyone else.
If somebody upsets you a little, you just fucking yell
you
at them.
Yell
at them. You stupid, dumb motherfucker, I will kill you.
Say the worst things that
if
you would never say to anyone.
If somebody cuts you off on traffic, just like nudge them a little bit. with your car. Just give them a little shove so that they go like, just off the road.
And then the car blows up and you just
and then you drive like nothing
happened.
And you smile at yourself and
and then
one single
rinse and repeat. Okay, hopefully that answers your question.
But that's how I deal with it. Usually, sometimes.
I'm gonna do this one because I like their last name.
Ooh, my.
Sky Fitzpatrick.
That's a cool name.
It's like
we knew a Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, who? I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I don't recall. Why do we say that?
Bro thinks he's like a Victorian Englishman. I don't recall.
Hi, guys. Such a big fan. I found Homestyle Dinner Rolls through TikTok a while ago, and I've always enjoyed the dynamic you two have. I was wondering what your favorite memory with each other is.
Aww.
I have it right here. It's first velour show.
Oh,
do you remember the high we rode?
Of course. Because that drive home is like a core memory.
No, sincerely.
Bringing it back to Inside Out, the movie, that's a core memory.
But because seriously, like...
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was insanity. Because the Velour is a venue in Provo. It's like the best venue in Provo. Neon Trees have played there. Imagine Dragons have played there. Like they
Homestyle Dinner Rolls has played there.
Homestyle Dinner.
No Such Animals.
No Such Animal. Queen Adilla. All these great bands. But... yeah, we brought a lot of people because we were in high school. So
yeah.
And here's the thing about high school bands, it's like a joke with bands. When you're playing with a high school band, they will bring way more people than you every time.
It's totally because high schoolers like
they're friends, they have community.
That's what they have a community, and that's what you do on like a Friday. If there's somebody who has a band, you're like, this is cool. But if you're like 25, it loses some of the allure.
Because when being 25 is such a weird thing. Because like I'm not 25. Let me put it out there.
You're not that fucking old.
No.
Can you imagine being an old fucking dinosaur?
Old
fucking 25.
Oh
you
my
fucking
God.
grandpa.
You might as well just call it there. You know. But yeah, when you're 25, you know you got people who might have babies.
Yeah. People
who might have a double date because they're married and they want to, or you might have someone who is completely lonely, smoking weed every night and goes, "Yeah, I'll come." or no, I'd rather just.
Dude, but that Velour show, that was the first day that it felt like, oh, we're not just guys fucking around playing music. We're a band. We're a band. This was a real show. This wasn't just at a pizza place. This wasn't just at my mom's backyard. This was a show, and like it was the first time I remember we were like, we're fucking rock stars.
Literally.
That's the day where we were like, we are rock stars.
The high is crazy. We've talked about this before. The high you get from playing a good show, like I would feel
beautiful.
I don't know how people play a show and then just go get drunk or go get high because I'm like,
yeah, right.
You fucking
right.
How is your brain so destroyed that feeling is nothing to you?
It's the most incredible feeling in the world.
Don't waste it.
Well, it's because
sit in it.
Music, when there's a bunch of people in a room listening to music together at a concert or even at like a rave or whatever, your brain waves are all in sync together with the beat. And when you're in a crowd watching that happen live and connecting with all of these people, and when you're on stage connecting with all those people, it's magical. It's magical.
That's fucking awesome.
Live music is the most magical thing in the fucking world.
And this is my favorite part of the email. They said, P.S. getting a tattoo of one of your lyrics soon, and I'm so excited.
Shut the fuck up.
Sky,
that's amazing.
Sky, you are awesome.
Thank you very much.
Another P.S. from Sky. Okay, I guess
I can't believe that. Like, that doesn't process in my brain.
I'll believe it when I see it. No, but seriously.
I'm calling bullshit.
BS.
No,
BS.
It's surreal.
Thank
I
you
can't
so much,
believe,
Sky.
and I appreciate everybody who has taken the time to listen to our songs, listen to our lyrics, and who connect with it, because that's beautiful. Like we were talking with the live music. That's magical.
It makes us feel like we're doing something. It's another one of those validating things, you know? And that's what we live for as performers is only validation all the time, you know? No, me and Danny make jokes 24/7 just to get a laugh out of each other. And the thing
That's kind of true.
And
we do, man.
I'll tell you, when I don't get a laugh, I'm like, fuck. I need to try harder.
The funny thing is, it's like we interact with each other like probably every day.
About 80% is jokes.
About 80% of what we say to each other are bits.
Everything.
Just because I don't know what it is about our brains, but we're like, we got to be making each other laugh. We got to be like, who's my character to make this guy laugh today?
And it works every time. We don't get sick of it. They don't know they're in love. P.S.
And then
again.
we kiss each other softly. Sometimes.
Yeah, we do that. Thank you so much for being a big part in getting me motivated throughout my days. Music has always been so important to me. You guys are awesome. Much love, Sky.
Dude, Sky, you're the best. Thank you.
DM us the tattoo when you get it. That's awesome.
Yeah, we would love to see that, for real. All
Next
right.
question.
Let's take a question. This one just got sent in like 4 minutes ago. Abigail Thompson says, "Hi, Jake and Danny.
Hi.
How did y'all first meet?"
Whoa.
In elementary school. It's not that crazy of a story.
About 6th grade. But no, it was
No.
before.
I think it was like 2nd grade.
Damn.
I think it was like 2nd grade.
Damn.
That's my first like concrete memory of like knowing who you were as a person.
Did we have a class together?
No, I think we hung out in the playground.
That's where we fucking
Yeah.
Who did you hang out with?
I hung out with fucking McKay
Of course.
and I think Cameron. I think we hung out in like 1st and 2nd grade a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were tight. Dude, fucking Cam, I have a story about Cam. We were in kindergarten, and I remember we would hang out all the time, and then we were in the library, and I sat down to hang out with him, and he went, "I don't want to hang out with you today." And I was like, my kindergarten brain, I was like, fuck you.
Well, that's not a good story. That story sucked, man. And that instilled a deep
might as well
fear of
spit
rejection.
in my face.
Yeah, he might. But at least, hey, he was straight up. He was honest.
He was straight up. You got to admit, like, what are you supposed to do? You're a kindergartner. You don't know how to like handle your feelings toward people. What are you supposed to do?
I don't
want to
hang
honest.
out.
He said, "I don't want to hang out with you." Now.
Is that the
And
last time you tried?
You know what? I took it and I went about my life.
You said, okay, fine, I'll do something else.
I'm fine. All right, I get it.
Amazing
I get
how
it, Cam.
Amazing how clear communication just fixes it. Like, yes, you will get hurt. Your feelings will get hurt, but you won't.
Maybe that's what established the need for honesty and communication in my life.
Maybe. Because he could have sat there and been like, well, maybe.
He
hang
could have sat
out.
there. He could have been one of those fucking kindergartners who just hangs out with people to not make them feel bad. You know, as kindergartners do.
Yeah, they do that all the time, you know. But they don't actually form a genuine connection with the other kindergartner.
Yes.
Fucking
God,
dude,
damn
they're
it.
the worst.
Kindergartner culture these days.
I know. Every time
Also, what's your favorite soup? I'm a big fan of potato leek.
What?
Potato leek.
Is that when you pee red? What?
What? No.
What is
It's
potato
soup.
I'm taking a potato leek. Oh my god. I just realized I made a big mistake. I thought you said tomato leek. Oh, I thought you said tomato.
Tomato leek wouldn't make more sense.
No,
Why
because
you're
pea
peeing-
red. Because you're taking a leek and it's tomato color.
Why would I say that's my favorite soup?
I don't know.
Leek is a vegetable.
What's a leek?
It's a vegetable, man. I don't fucking know.
Dude.
It's kind of like, I don't know what it is, actually. I literally, the only things I know a leek from is potato leek soup and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. Because they go, there's a leak in the boat. And it pans and there's like a leak and he's like, ah!
Dude,
That's
I knew
so funny.
someone with the last
So
name.
fucking funny.
I knew someone with the last name Leak.
Really?
Leak my balls.
Fuck you.
You get
You're
potato
bad.
leak my balls.
Bad person.
My favorite soup is we have this place called Zupa's in Utah.
I think Zupas is everywhere, right?
I don't know. It's
They have Zupas in like California and shit.
do they? Doubtful.
I think so.
Google it.
I'm Googling it.
My
Keep
favorite
talking.
soup is chicken enchilada, and you get the tortilla strips that are free, and it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It has like beans and stuff. That is probably my favorite, but it's no potato leek.
Yeah, potato leek is way better. But Zupas is in like Arizona and Idaho and Nevada too.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But it's not in California. It's not like
Not
all
from what I
across the
saw.
country. Zupas, get your bag up. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
get your bag up.
Are you really seriously
Zupas?
not fucking... Okay, anyway.
Imagine. We should buy Zupas.
We should-
and franchise it across the country. I'm sure that's not a plan that they've already been doing since they opened in
Yeah, literally.
2004.
And they're just waiting patiently for more investors to
They're
jump
just
on.
waiting for two curly-haired fucks in a band to buy out their restaurant and make it $1 million
We're
business.
like, we just put all the band money we've ever gotten, so about like $40, and we're like... Podcast questions from Jax Loves You. Well, it's only one question. It says, Homestyle Dinner Rolls album when? And we're aiming for...
Aiming for July.
July.
Hold on. So Jackson said podcast questions and asked one.
Yeah, you know, Jax...
That's not how it works.
You may have had a
You said
lower...
questions plural.
You may have had a lower GPA than I did. Mine was 2.1, which is actually fairly high, so I wouldn't expect you to be close to it, if that makes sense, especially if you don't know the difference between a multiple and a singular.
Hey, fuck you, Jackson.
Oh. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
And if you don't
Man,
know what
I'm
that
sorry.
means... It means he's mad at you.
This is just devolving into us just flaming,
Jax.
our fans who took the time
Thank
to
you
write
for
out
the
a
question.
question.
I'm kidding,
In
Jax.
hopes that we would talk to them.
It's
and we
funny how
I'm
we-
sorry, Jackson.
We
I'm
go
sorry.
in, we'll make fun of a handicapped guy. Last name Butt.
My dad said he was really mean.
Was he? No one's born mean. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, I actually said something like that the other day. I said, I think at everyone's core, there's just a non-judgmental, nice person. You know,
like that.
I said
I
that to
think so.
you.
Yeah,
we were having a conversation
Wait,
about.
you did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wasn't fucking listening.
Oh, okay. Well, you can just answer the next question then.
Okay. No, but I think you're right. I think at everyone's core, they are a person who wants to find love and happiness and peace and joy. But just people are raised in shitty ways.
Exactly.
How has music changed your guys' lives? Is there a story behind why you make music, or is it just for fun? Well, but why music has changed our lives. Music has kind of always just been a part of my life. How I express myself, how I'm able to find like
Talk much? Damn.
emotions, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my favorite way to connect to how I'm feeling is by finding a song that I can relate to. It's just such a beautiful way to vent. And so growing up, like when we started this band, I was like, what a better way to get rid of all my teenaged angst and sadness than to write in. Oh, sorry. You. Jay, I'm talking to you, Jay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, me.
What better way to vent my teenage angst and sadness?
Why are you talking to me?
Oh, sorry.
You know I'm wearing headphones, so if I
I
look
know
at the
you're
wall,
wearing
I can
sorry.
hear you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And even if I wasn't wearing
Well,
the
you
same
know,
room,
I just think that eye contact is a very important thing.
See-
when you're making communication, I think it's kind of rude. How do you feel? Okay, I'm gonna turn around.
Yeah, you
and
look
You're
that
trying
way.
to have a
You
meaningful
look that-
conversation.
I actually kind of like this more. So, Danny,
Yeah, how's it going?
how's your day been?
Oh, that's pretty good, man.
That's good.
I've just been working on this album.
Yeah. Look at the wall if you hate our fans. There we go.
Checkmate, buddy. How do you have an answer to that wonderful question?
I'm just drinking this lemonade, so.
All right, well, we're gonna move on. Alexis.
Well, no, I do. What was the question though? About music?
Yes.
The music.
How has it impacted your life? In 3, 2, 1.
I've always liked music. I remember specifically another core memory. We were driving home, me and my family. My mom was playing Michael Bublé, and I imagined I was in a music video for Michael Bublé, and I was like, that would be so cool. But I
What
didn't.
song? Do you remember the song?
Oh, I can't even sing it.
Oh,
That one.
Haven't
Met You Yet.
Haven't Met You Yet. Yeah.
Just haven't met you yet. But yeah, I remember that. Also, I like the emotional side. I didn't really think about the emotional side until a couple years ago. I sat down and I wrote a song.
Yeah.
And the words, they just were coming to me, and so I just put them in. But I was like, this does have a meaning. Like, I thought I was just talking gibberish, but it had a meaning. And I started crying because
I remember that. Yeah.
I just started weeping because I was like, I know what it's about.
Dude, when you write a song and you pour emotion to it, and then you can listen to it and like you go, wow, this is a feeling that I felt in my soul, and I funneled it into art. That is such a beautiful thing. I recommend it for everybody to write music or to make a painting or to do something creative with all of your anger and shame and spite and or happiness, I guess.
But
if you're one of those cheery bastards. You can.
I will say it does take some sort of vulnerability. You have to be able to be vulnerable, you know, because but I think that's something that I didn't necessarily possess for a long time, if that makes sense. I didn't understand until the past couple of years, like, you can be vulnerable. Like, it's okay, you know? People aren't going to hurt your feelings. People aren't going to judge you for that.
And you have to with music. You have to
you can't just,
that's what it is.
or else you're Nickelback.
It's vulnerability.
You know?
Yeah.
You're Nickelback writing... You're writing to an algorithm, you know? Like...
Dude, I mean, like...
I like Nickelback, by the way.
Man, the vulnerability is crazy, dude. Like, I remember Honey Almond Blues is a song that I wrote about, like, oh, I'm smoking weed all the time, and it's
I'm wasting
taking
my life.
such a toll, and I'm wasting my life. And sometimes I forget that, like, oh, people can listen to this song, and, like, all of my internal struggles are out in the world
on display.
now. I've had so many uncomfortable conversations with people.
Like,
my mom texted me. She was like, so...
You're like, what?
And I was like, the song's about me getting off the drugs. I'm sorry.
Like, I didn't mind me. Dude, yeah, that was a bad time period in life.
Oh, terrible.
Because we thought we were having a great time. We thought, you know...
But that's because we were high.
Yeah, but when you're sober, at least for me, I couldn't stand the just being foggy and not being able to just be, if that makes sense.
The brain fog was horrible.
It was horrendous. And you're not yourself. It's like they say that in the advertisements. They're like, you're not yourself when you're high. But it's true. You're not. And it's kind of depressing watching people get high now. Like, taking a step back and looking at it. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, oh, they're having fun. But other times it's like, these people do this every night. Mm-hmm. They're sad.
But also, everyone's lives are different. Yeah. I'm not them, they're not me.
That's true.
You know, smoking weed did not work out. It was bad for us.
It was horrible.
But I know some
true.
people
some
that
people
are
love
like,
it, man.
Weed helps me get through my day. I have a stressful life, and it's how I unwind. Or I'm in chronic pain, and it helps me with that. And also, some people are able to healthily regulate. I think part of it is also that we just have addictive personalities.
Yeah.
And so when we come into like a substance like weed or nicotine, then it's just, it's bad.
Yeah.
But some people are able to handle that a lot better than we are.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Take everything we say with a grain of salt.
I guess I didn't think about that simply because we do have addictive personalities. It is a sad reality. We can't enjoy drugs responsibly.
No.
You know, but I will also point out, though, I might double down a little that it is a drug, and if you're doing it every day, you don't have chronic pain. It just helps you unwind every day. You know. It's kind of like, I'm like, but it seems a little bit like reliance.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good to watch out for that.
Yeah, maybe try out sobriety. See if it's good for you.
See if it works. It's going to suck when you're withdrawing, though.
We did it as a challenge. We did it as like, oh, we're just going to go the 1 month.
1 month.
And then we were like, oh my God, I feel so good. I was like,
our life doesn't suck anymore, you know? But yeah, it just depends who you are. But you can't be doing it all the time, in my opinion. There's various circumstances, but.
How about one more?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Did you read the last one or did I read?
I don't.
I'll read the last one.
Well, no, you read 2 in a row.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Caught me red-handed, I guess.
I just scrolled past one really quick, so I'll answer it really quick. They want us to do a music video. Yeah, okay. I don't dig music videos.
I love them. I love music videos. Oh my God. I connect so much when I see a music video.
I like I just like listening to the song and calling it good. And
But
making,
there's something beautiful.
making your own imagery in my head, I'm just like, that is what I like. I imagine.
That's a good point.
I imagine colors. I imagine, scenery and stuff. When it's given to me, I feel like I'm like, well.
That's a good point.
But also maybe I don't like it because I have a preconceived image in my head of it, and then I watch the music video and I go, oh my god,
Like, oh, this is
they
so
ruined
different.
my vision that I worked so hard on.
Have you seen the music video for Helena by My Chemical Romance?
No.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
I can't, man.
I'm telling
it
you,
might change my mind.
I'm telling you,
man.
you have to watch it. It's like, it's beautiful. It is art, man. The cinematography.
It might change my mind,
it is
though.
Gorgeous. It is.
I'll watch
gorgeous.
it, but I love that song, and I have
know.
an idea of it in my head.
I almost guarantee you, it'll reinforce what the idea that you have of it. In your head.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay, but that, since Danny did 2 in a row, I'll do 2 in a row. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do a random one. Here we go.
Make me start counting down from 5.
Where do you guys
4.
Where do you guys start when you're making music? Also, what's your favorite cheese? Well, we've kind of answered this. I mean, my favorite is there was this coffee cheese I had once. It had coffee on the outside. That was pretty good.
Coffee on the outside.
Like grinds.
Yeah.
Also, I went to a party recently and there was like this cheese of some sort.
Oh, that's very descriptive.
Yeah, it was good.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, the best cheeses, it really depends on what you're going for. But I think pepper jack is just a solid bet. Pepper jack and Colby jack fucking rock.
But
I'm a big fan of mozzarella.
But what about like you go, there's a charcuterie board.
Okay, yeah. I'm going for the Colby jack.
But I feel like that's kind of, is it not like sort of basic?
No. Cheddar is basic, but cheddar's also good.
Colby jack is white and yellow, right?
Yeah.
It's kind
It's
of
basic because it's delicious.
It is delicious.
I mean,
I'll give you
are you
that.
going to take a Colby jack over a Swiss?
Yeah.
Oh.
But maybe I just have bad taste in cheese, I don't know. But yeah, that's my favorite kind of cheese.
What do you think about blue cheese? Are you a blue cheese fan or are you a hater?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it kind of just tastes like ranch to me. Just like weaker ranch.
Interesting. Weaker ranch?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Unless I've been eating...
Are we talking about the same blue cheese?
Blue cheese.
It's like strong.
Blue cheese dressing, right?
Okay. I'm talking about just straight up blue cheese.
No, I haven't had it.
Really?
What's it taste like?
It tastes like it's pungent. That's the best way that I can...
Like a fart? Like if you farted in this room and I went, oh, that's pungent.
Oh, that's pungent. It's pungent, but like that's why a lot of people don't like it is because it's pungent. But it's kind of like if I tell you something spicy, you could go, oh, so it'll hurt my mouth? You know what I mean? But like spicy can be, oh, that's spicy in a good way. Like that's pungent in a good way is the best way that I can describe it.
Okay. So it's like a good smelling fart.
Yeah, it's like when you fart and you smell it and you're like, that's
when you
good.
fart. When you fart, we're saying the T, so
how dare you mock my dictation?
Fart. Mountain fart. I don't know.
Fart blue cheese. You should check it out though.
What does it smell like? Fart?
Oh man. Like the best way I can describe it is just pungent cheese. Think of the smelliest cheese that you've ever smelled and kind of just amp it up a little. Like think of like a Swiss that you smell and you're like, oh, I can tell that is cheese. And then a little bit of like sour or bitter to it. Just give it some pungent.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I can't say I want to try that ever, but because you didn't really sell it that well.
It's
I'm like telling cheese, but if it was stinky and like
it's really good though. It's really good.
Can you use a different word besides pungent? Not strong.
Not strong or pungent?
Yeah.
Oh man. It's vibrant. It's a very vibrant cheese. Like the flavorers are very powerful. Right?
That's good. If you were going to sell me this cheese,
vibrant would be better than smelly fart cheese.
Being like, this is pungent. Yeah, I like that. I like vibrant cheese.
But like, if you go to Cubby's, there's a restaurant in Utah called Cubby's. This is what sold me on blue cheese. I didn't like blue cheese for the longest time, but they have loaded fries, and it's fries with buffalo blue cheese on it. So it's buffalo sauce and blue cheese. So it's spicy, and the buffalo gives it a spice, and the blue cheese gives it that vibrant feel to it, and it complements the buffalo really well. And buffalo and blue cheese are super good. Tangy for sure. But like, it's also really good if you have it with like caramelized onion on a burger. If it's a burger with caramelized onion and blue cheese, because the caramelized onion is sweet, super sweet, and the blue cheese is very, tangy and vibrant and pungent. And so they balance each other out. And it's super good. If you just eat blue cheese by yourself, you're probably not going to have a good time. But you have blue cheese on fries or on a burger, or like you dip a sandwich in blue cheese or over a salad. It's super good.
There we go. There, you sold me there. Now I'm going to try it.
I'm the cheese guy.
They call me Danny Cheese.
Dude, our friend Chloe?
Yeah.
She was dating a guy, and I only know him as Cheese Boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Me too.
Yeah, I know he's Cheese Boy. I don't know his name.
I don't know either.
But his name, he's just Cheese Boy. And I asked my friend, I was like, why do you call him Cheese Boy? And they're like, I don't know, he really likes cheese. He just really likes cheese, man.
It's like,
and I went up to him and I was like, oh, you like cheese? And he was like, let me tell you. And then he proceeded to just tell me all about cheese. And I'd be like, oh, what are your thoughts on brie? And he'd be like, oh, well.
So he
knew about like the origins of where the cheese like comes from and like
that's
all the flavor profiles. I was like, yeah, he's Cheese Boy. I guess he worked in a deli.
Wow. He really works near what he loves,
Dude, he had a brand.
He did. Like when they say work in like a bar where there's music, if you like music.
Dude,
yeah.
If you love what you do, you're never going to
work a day in your life.
And Cheese Boy, he's got his brand.
Attaboy. Well, good for you, Cheese Boy. They're looking out for you. But where do we start? We kind of just, we make an idea with chords and a melody and bring it to the other person.
It all starts with an emotion.
Yep.
It all starts
with an emotion. Whatever you're feeling.
Whatever you feel, if there's something that happened in your life, if you're like, I just went through a breakup and I want to sing about that. Take that into your song. It's all about intention and emotion, and then chords, melodies, you can figure all that out as you go along.
Okay, we have to finish with this question.
I read it over your shoulder.
And let's not make it let's not get in detail here.
No.
Tits or ass. That's what it said. I wouldn't call them that, okay? I would say breasts.
Or buttocks.
Okay? And the obvious answer is buttocks every time.
I used to disagree with you, but I think I agree with you. But I think my real answer is legs.
Well, yeah, but
my partner has such nice legs.
You're like,
I don't know if I should be talking about that. Not me just objectifying my partner on.
I don't know. You like what you like, Yeah. But yeah, okay, legs. Is, but the thing is, that's connected. To the butt.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this though. I think face is the most important, the most attractive quality of all.
Well, of course.
But that wasn't the question.
Well, that wasn't the question. So we're gonna answer the question, and the answer is ass. And yeah, that's that. But thank you for listening to the podcast, everyone. And by the way, TikTok is might be gonzo. It looks like it might be gonzo.
It's going bye-bye.
Make sure to keep listening to the podcast and make sure to follow us everywhere else.
Go follow us on TikTok. We post on TikTok like every day. We plan on posting on TikTok for a long time. We have a long. We love career. TikTok. We're so glad that we have that as our go-to platform. But yeah, catch us on TikTok Live, everybody.
And we love.
I am in deep denial, and I am very, very sad. But we have been Homestyle Dinner Rolls, and this is too damn loud. Meow. 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 Meow.